Okay, so the main theme in this reading, I do feel, is honest, straightforward communication. Okay, this is something that you are demanding from other people, and this is something that others are going to demand from you. So this is like very concise, succinct, honest communication. We do have these two cards, and they're showing up. The Five of Pentacles, when I do private readings, I usually look at this as a card of massive karma. And it can be a very karmic relationship between two partners, or, you and another person. It's a relationship where you both would, you would rough it out through thick and thin with one another. So it's a deep-rooted spiritual bond. It's a deep-rooted friendship. If it's a love relationship, I do feel that it's sort of like when you love another person on a human level. I do feel for a lot of you, this is for male, female Scorpios. No matter what gender you're dating, I do sense there is somebody in your life and that you feel this way about. And once again, this can be a friendship. This can be even a family relationship. There's a significant person in your life. For a lot of you, it might be an air sign. So male or female, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. It can be an air sign. This is somebody that you've been through a lot with, and you know no matter what, they're going to be there for you. And if you are aware that there is this person in your life, I do feel that you want communication to take place, and you want them to be there for you when you fall. Something drastic is happening this month, and I do feel for a lot of it, for a lot of you, this might be your security blanket. This person is like your go-to person when life has dealt you with blows, but for some reason, they're not there this month. So if, for example, you have been taking this person for granted, you might want them to be there, but for some reason they're not, okay? And why they're not there is going to depend on what type of Scorpio you are and how the situation played out in your individual, in your individual narrative as to how that relationship panned out in the past, what transpired in the future. But I definitely feel there is a very strong connection with another person, possibly an air sign here. We also have possibly like a fire sign as well. We have the Strength card, which is the card of Leo. And I do feel the Strength and the Sun. There's a very strong fiery combustible energy. But what I'm sensing is by the end of this month, this is probably during a time of a family reunion, of a get together. I feel as if some truths are coming to light, and you're not going to be too pleased, okay? Unfortunately, Scorpios. The first 3 months of the first 3 weeks of the month looks very, very favorable. I do feel a lot of backwards looking energy where you're reminiscing or you're missing somebody from your past. And it might have been a situation where you're missing this person who you feel have been around for you through thick and thin. There might be, hopes for communication coming in from this person. You're working up the courage to contact this person. You're looking back and thinking to yourself, I see the value. I see why you're in my life. I see that, I might have taken you for granted, for example. Or, I wish things had pan out differently between the two of us because you add value into my life. We have the Page of Pentacles, and Page of Pentacles are very young. And, as a page energy, we go through life and we pursue things that we perceive to be of value. But it's not until you become a queen or a king that you realize the value of something that is genuine, that is true. So there is a person in your life that might have left the picture because you didn't see their true value. They were really there for you through the rough patches. And I feel like they were, the security blanket. They were the person that picked you up and put you back together when life has been, catastrophic. So I do feel, with the Saturn transit that a lot of you have gone through for the past 3 years, this was the person that was there for you. And they might have been weaned out of your life, or they left the picture in some way, and now you're starting to feel the lack of their presence. Okay, and I do feel that for some of you who might have, like, if this, it's always two-sided. One person might have taken the other one for granted. One person might have, like, done all the maintenance work in the relationship, or one person might have always played savior or martyr to the other person. So if this is you and you've always been, that security blanket for another person, the other person is starting to see your true value. And they're coming back for you, and they're trying to negotiate things with you, and they're trying to make things work out in a good way so that you both can maintain this bond into the future. What I'm sensing, though, is the karma has played out. Okay, the karma has played out. The karmic debt has been repaid. So I would advise you to move on, because things tend to be very cyclical when we're dealing with uneven relationships. And, despite the best intentions, people want to change, and they want to do better, and they want to, right any wrongs or imbalances in a relationship. But all the other cards do not indicate to me that this is going to work. Okay, we have the Sun card, which is ultimately success. We have the Strength card. In this regard, is telling you to don't jump the gun, be rational about this. It hasn't worked out in the past, so why are you going back to it now? So there's a little bit of a spiritual warning coming through, as well as the Nine of Cups, which indicates a wish fulfillment. So there is, either the other person is hoping for a communication from you, or you are hoping for communication from the other person. And you're hoping that this, communication coming through, or at least acknowledgement of your presence, or acknowledgement of your contributions, is going to change your life. You're hoping that all of these cards are looking in the same direction. So I feel that there is a sense of, like, putting all your eggs in one basket, hoping for something extraordinary to happen with another person in your life, and the communication is not coming through. They are probably caught up with, the turmoil in their own lives. So you're not going to get the communication, not this month. Okay, there is also somebody who's very, very on guard about you, Scorpios. So you might want to just be careful about this. And once again, it can play out both ways. You need to be on guard with somebody from the past, because they're bringing in troubles. Okay, so just be careful about that. If there is somebody that has used you for a security blanket, they come back to you when life gets hard. And then as soon as you mend their broken wings, they pick up and leave without a word. That is not something that you need to, that's not a right relationship that you should be in. So aim for a little bit more balance and reciprocity in your relationships, okay? Because I do feel that when it comes to just your ability to fully move on, we have the Fool card here. But the way that it's playing out, it tells me that you need to aim in a different direction, because all of these are backwards looking types of energy. You need to aim in a different route, okay? And the Tower here, in the last 2 weeks of the month, indicates to me there's going to be a shift, a major, major, major shift, and things will not be the same after. So I know it sounds very cataclysmic, but it's not always a bad thing, because surrounding it is basically truths coming to light, or communication coming through from whomever it was that you were expecting. It's going to shed some light into what exactly happened in the past, why things are the way they are, and why things cannot come back together the way they were in the past, okay? So it is time to move on, Scorpios. And I do feel that a lot of you are in a very good place right now, financially. A lot of you might have a new job situation. A lot of you are contemplating travel. And for those of you who are thinking, we have two travel cards actually with the Eight of Wands and also the Fool. Both of these are about travel. And a lot of you might be planning a trip and there's another person that's supposed to take the trip with you. And then you find out, they are caught up with their own turmoil. And as a result of it, they can't come with you on the trip. So it can be like that. Or it can just be there was a karmic relationship in the grander scheme of things. The karma is over. It's over. Whenever I see Five of Pentacles preceded or, preceding a Six of Pentacles, it usually indicates to me that there is a major, major shifts in the karmic scale. Okay, so if in the past it has been very uneven, the karmic scale is shifting where things are going to right itself. It doesn't mean that they right themselves so that you can return to this relationship. It just means that the karma has been repaid and it's time for you to exercise your free will and just move away from this, okay? So like don't beat a dead horse, basically. For a lot of you, if you are expecting some type of communication regarding finances, I do feel that coming through by the 15th or so. So from the first 2 weeks, it's going to come through. When it comes to financial situation resolving itself, for example, if you were promised a certain, pay scale and then things didn't exactly pan out, I feel that the situation itself will turn around for the better, but it's not until the last week of the month when the situation will basically right itself. If you are in a situation where you're in financial dire strait, I definitely feel that there's help coming through, but I do feel some strings attached, some conditions imposed upon you as a result of this financial assistance, okay? So it could be like a family member offering you something, but they make you sign a promissory note, and they're like very cautious about you. So in as few words, they could say like, if so and so doesn't pay this amount in a specified amount of time, they are never allowed to, lend from me again. So it's like a lesson on tough love when it comes to financial management, okay? So I do feel it's very finance related. So for those of you who are, just starting out the month and you don't have these worries, just don't spend lavishly this month. Please don't spend lavishly. You might get into a situation where the house need repairs or something like that. Your house, your elderly parents' house, aging grandparents, some financial dip is coming through by the end of this month, and a lot of you might be coming home for the holidays and you might realize that your folks home needs some kind of repairs. Okay, so that's something that's coming through, and there might be like a financial advisor or legal counsel coming through as a result of this. For those of you who are single, looking and trying to see how your I feel like it's a very busy month. It's very other oriented. There's a lot of people, not court cards per se, but the way the energies are, it's very scattered and it's just very like, it's important for you to be very swift on your toes because I do feel like reversals. You're going this way and then you're going that way and then you're at a standstill and then you don't know where to turn. So there's a lot of, I guess, conflicting emotions, conflicting timing, and conflicting direction. So this is a good month for you to stay nimble on your toes. Don't spend too extravagantly. And let's see what else. For those of you who are single, and looking, there is a very, very strong air sign coming through for you. Air sign and earth signs, excuse me. So going back to what I said earlier, it could be an earth sign with the karmic relationship. I forgot about this Page of Pentacles coming out early. So with the earth sign, it's Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, and Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. And there's also, the fire sign, which is, I feel very strongly, a Leo energy. So earth, air, and a Leo. I do feel that for those of you who are single, there's definitely a lot of communications, a lot of, so I just want you to be careful if you're out there dating. I do feel that you are attracting quite a few. You have good candidates that are actually very good for you. but you're attracting quite a few people who might be, a little bit emotionally needy, or just, they're looking for you to constantly mend them, to like take care of them. So that's when you need to draw the line, okay? So be very careful about boundaries. Be very careful about people using you as a security blanket. So rather than taking care of themselves, they're dumping all these responsibilities on you, and they're not even promising, anything stable or anything long term. They come and go, and whenever they're broken, they come to you to fix them. So that is not a balanced relationship, nor is it healthy. So be very careful about the Scorpios. I feel that a lot of you, you have, a lot of inner strength, resilience, and wisdom. And when you love very, very profoundly and deeply, and you never ever forget, um, someone that you've loved. So you love and you hate with equal passion. So the thing about this is do things in moderation, because I feel like a very singular tunnel vision type of energy coming through, especially for the first week of the month. You're so fixated on having a specific outcome that when it doesn't come through, you go through like a rumination stage where you're just like pining. And then there's opportunities to your right here with communication from other people, from overseas, from love interest, and you're not nimble enough to get yourself out of this funk in order for you to grab these new opportunities. So just keep yourself, just do things in moderation. Just don't over invest until the other party invest themselves. So be a little bit more rational this month, okay? I do feel solid relationships coming through for those of you who are, in stable relationship as well. There's definitely some communication, some blockages, but I do feel them clearing up. And you've got a very solid air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra coming through. A Page of Pentacles, this is a new person, brand new person. So this is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn coming through, as well as the Leo energy.